So full disclaimer, I actually did these pulls obviously quite a while ago and recorded it, and let's just say they went rather well. Well enough that my girlfriend is barely speaking to me anymore. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but she's not happy. You know, that's luck. That's kind of how it goes. So basically, I hadn't got well, everyone gets a copy of Lynette, and I obviously got that, and it was good. But Lynette was the 4-star on the banner that I didn't already have as C6, so obviously I wanted to get as many extra copies as possible. I mean, C6 would be amazing, and basically that's how it went. I was pulling for Yelan C2. I have her C1, which is great. Her C1 gives her an extra charge on her skill. It's very handy. It makes her energy requirements much more manageable. I would almost say that if you don't have Yelan's C1, there's probably not a huge amount of point getting her signature weapon, because you will struggle to stuff enough energy recharge onto her to actually make it functional. So you'll end up using a Favonius Warbow anyway. But with C1, the signature becomes worth having. So yeah, anyway, pulls were going along and everything was just fine and dandy. And basically every tempo I was getting another copy of Lynette, like none of them wasted, which is in and of itself extremely lucky. Okay, so I hadn't really wanted it to go to hard pity, but it basically did. But that got me my C6 Lynette, so you know, I can't complain. You know, the pulls are coming in, and you know, I mean, it's just the great thing about gacha games is when it goes badly it sucks, that's not so good, but when it goes well it's great, and that is what happened on this particular occasion. It went very well. I was on my 50-50, so it wasn't guaranteed that I was going to get Yelan. I was actually hoping, you know, to get Zhongli, and then I sort of decided, you know what, I'm going to forego my chance to get Zhongli and actually go for Yelan, because her C2 will be a big improvement, and it's quite nice, I think, actually getting constellations for your favourite characters, because you don't have to build those characters, they're already built, you just get the extra benefit of their constellation, and sometimes that's sort of worth it and sometimes it really isn't. In this case I decided that yeah, I use Yelan a lot, I think her C2 is cracked, so I wanted to go for it, and that's what I did. And it turns out the fates smiled on me, and I won my 50-50. Then look at that! A deer! Which I was not expecting. And then a Bennett, which was wasted because mine's already C6. But yeah, I lost the 50-50 literally the next wish after I won the 50-50 on Yelan, which is essentially perfect, because it means that I now have a guaranteed Zhongli at 90 wishes when his next banner comes up, which is brilliant. I was not expecting that at all. Also, I was really happy to have Dia's C1 now. I already had a copy of Dia, and I would like her to be C2. I use her as in a Burgeon team, but I use her with a Sacrificial Greatsword because her skill uptime is not fantastic. I use her with Wanderer in that Burgeon team. He's the sort of on-field driver. He does a fair amount of damage himself anyway. So it's kind of a hybrid between a team that wants to do good Burgeon damage and a team that actually just is happy to do decent Animo damage using Wanderer. So Dia is on a sort of support build. She's got Tenacity of the Millilith, which she's, you know, gets good uptime on with her skill. But, you know, the fact that it's 12 seconds out of 20 is not ideal. C2 basically fixes that by giving you an extra 6 seconds after you've done the ranging flame sort of double skill thing. So yeah, C2 is what I want, and now I am literally just one away from that, which is fantastic. I mean, it could be years before I get that next Deer constellation. You know how it goes with these standard banner characters, but I was still, out of all of the 5 stars, that's probably the one I would have chosen anyway. So yeah, fantastic. I was also really happy to have Lynette at C6 because she's Animo, and that means she can hold VV. She doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but she can swirl on field, which, you know, with her C6 you get that Animo infusion. Actually, I think she's quite an interesting character at that point. So, you know, also the C4 I think is really good for her because it gives her the double usage on her skill, which, you know, makes things much more doable. But yeah, so generally speaking, I'm quite happy with Lynette. I should do a video about her at some point, but haven't got around to that yet.
Navigating the world's
So yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time in a year of playing Genshin that I've had a double 5-star on one 10 pull, and that is just insane luck. Just going to sort of test out my Yelan here. You see these 4 Ruin Guards.
busted.
They do hit quite hard because there's 4 of them, and this is my Nilu Bloom team with Kaveh as the on-field driver. There's a lot of misunderstandings about Kaveh actually. You know, he's rubbish and does virtually no damage, and I don't think anyone's disputing that. But the one thing he is very good at is healing himself, because he takes, you know, where everyone else takes damage from blooms, he gets automatic heals from them. And because Nilu's blooms just go off like all the time, you know, it's great. Anyway, now we get to the Zhongli pulls. Now I've just done a 10 pull, the first 10 pull, having gathered my 90 wishes ready for his banner. And yeah, you did see correctly, that was a gold. Yep. Guaranteed Zhongli first 10 pull, which means that in 20 pulls I got 3 5-stars and a Benny. I mean, can't say fairer than that. It's just, yeah, never had luck like it before, ever. And then actually what I didn't do is record these next set of wishes because I wasn't really expecting anything much, which was stupid of me based on the luck I've just had. So then I chucked in the next sort of 80 odd wishes and I got Tartaglia as well. So yeah, it's kind of bonkers. Anyway, I don't know if I'll be able to get Nouvelette. He looks like an interesting character, but he is an on-field character, and I prefer the off-field characters in principle because I find they're more flexible. They work in different teams to a greater degree, and therefore, you know, I mean, it's the building teams that I enjoy, sort of, you know, building interesting and different teams that are probably miles off optimal and, you know, meta and all of that, but who cares, you know, they're fun, and I like a nice comfortable team. That's why my Wanderer team has got Dia, Singsho and Baiju on it. Between those 4 characters, you really do end up with a reasonable amount of damage and an exceedingly comfortable playing style. So when I'm just sort of don't really want to pay attention to what I'm doing and just bash out some weekly boss or something, that team's perfect for that. But where are those? Yeah, anyway, Zhongli, strongest shield in the game. Got him too. And the reason my girlfriend is mad at me is because she was in a similar position, but she put her 90 wishes in and she got Yelan. She was on a guarantee at that point. And then she put another 90 wishes in trying to get Zhongli and lost the 50-50 to Jean. So yeah, she kind of feels like I've stolen her luck. Well, that's not true, obviously. I haven't stolen her luck, it's just the way these things go. I think the thing with gacha games, the thing with luck in general, is that the more times you roll the dice, the more things tend to whatever the sort of statistics are. I mean, like take flipping a coin, for example. You might roll, you know, you might flip 4 heads in a row, but if you keep flipping, by the time you get to 1,000 flips, it'll be more or less 50-50 between tails and heads. And, you know, the more you flip, the more it'll tend towards that 50-50. You know, exactly what statistics say it should be. And I think in that way gacha games are not great for the people that don't spend any money on them, because there's more chance that they could either be lucky or unlucky in how their pulls go. Anyway, although I don't recommend people spend money on a gacha game, that's a terrible idea. You know, but if you've got the money and you want to, you know, you can do. Anyway, I've enjoyed my pulling session a huge amount over the last few weeks, and now it is time to get down to the serious business of saving for Nouvellette. Although, I do wonder if perhaps Wriothesley might be a better idea. To be honest, I think I'm probably going to just concentrate on getting Venti, because I quite like the idea of having all the Archons. I think the Archons tend to be good characters. They tend to be that more supporty character that works in a lot more teams. Certainly Nahida is, and Zhongli, and Raiden as well, to be honest. Although she can be an on-field hyper carry, she also makes a great support, especially in Hyper Bloom. But yeah, or for that matter, actually, you know, she's the best person to be in a Eula team even. So there's, you know, she has lots of flexibility. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to save up for Venti, but we'll see. I wasn't planning on getting Tartaglia and I ended up with him. I'll have to build these characters and make videos about them now. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next post. Bye!